Daryl.
Hey, is this a private session?
Yeah, well, I do have a session scheduled with Branton Blount. That's a private session, yes.
Okay, so let me, all right then.
I thought, okay, what I didn't realize what was going on here.
You put it on the calendar.
Ah, okay. All
Okay.
right.
All right, take it easy.
All right, thanks.
Okay.
Branton, how are you? Can you hear me?
Gotcha. Sorry, I was trying to find the link in my calendar to the right meeting space.
Well, I actually, in Google Calendar, you can, you have a lot of different calendars. I've got like 8 different calendars.
No, I have so many that I can't find where the hell I'm supposed to be during.
Well, I put it on one of my public calendars. And so I had 2 other people join and say, is this a private meeting? And I go, yeah, it's a private meeting. So I think what I better do now that you're on is lock the meeting. So give me, unless you had someone else that was going to
No.
join us.
No.
All right, give me just a second here and let me lock the meeting then. Okay, I know I remember how to do this somewhere. Ah, there it is. Cool. So it sounds like you've got something in the works.
Well, yeah. How are things going on your side? Anything good? How's the network growing?
I'm as busy as a 3-legged cat in a litter box, but unfortunately, the more I'm digging, there's no hidden treasures so far.
Yeah, I hear you.
No, we've been working hard, but we have not got a lot of deals across the finish line. There's a lot of deals getting done on the network, but
Yeah.
for the ones that I've been asked to participate in personally, most of the deals that are coming before me are just honestly pretty weak.
Yeah.
And they're falling apart at the LOI, they're falling apart at PSA, they're falling apart at due diligence, but we've got 3 deals right now that we're trying to get across the finish line that we're working on actively right now.
Yeah. Good. Well, we have one. It's gone back and forth. So, it's one of those things where I've been working on it so hard and developed a relationship with the seller or part of the seller's team, which is dissolving, and there's some fruit to be had there, and their partnership is breaking up, and one of them is a really great guy, and I've been working with him and maybe some future work. And then in the meantime, the deal where I met him through, we're trying to give it CPR, and had to bring in a new sponsorship team and everything. It's going. Live and learn. Brought on a JV that couldn't get it done, and so there's a valuation problem, I think, on it ultimately, which is going to lead to a price. But we're trying to figure out in real time, if we do pref equity, it makes the deal very skinny, too skinny. And then can we raise 10 million common equity to keep the pref equity out, to get more cash flow to go around. And so we're trying to work diligently to see if that 10 million raise is an option, using fellows like yourself that, where we like, okay, 3% of the GP is available per million brought. And I know you're not just a hired gun. We have a strong sponsorship on team on board. It's a matter of bringing together operators that the doors matter. And it's a big 460 unit property in South Houston workforce. So we're working on that. And so my initial between Friday and today is we're probably going to have to go and do we have a lender's call this evening, and they've been talking to the appraiser, and we think there's going to be a appraisal valuation problem to support purchase price, which actually helps us, as in starting the conversation, like, hey, this is out of our control, next step is lender's going to reduce leverage, and how that cascades through the deal.
Yeah.
But that said, I wanted to bring it up to you. Obviously, you need a ton of information. I can send you the projected deck, but would you be interested, if the deal moves forward, in a big, coming on board to raise as a fellow GP member, without having to sign on any loans or anything. We have Shane Carter, Ian Derjovic on board. They've got 700-800 doors in Houston combined, and KPing and all that's done. It's a matter of getting the raise across the finish line if we have to in a common equity raise without a pref equity slug of $4 million. So wanted to just gauge your high level interest in, does a 460 unit property in Houston, 35, well, current purchase price is 38 and a half million. Is that something you'd be interested in? And what would returns need to look like for you to comfortably go out and raise? Providing all the proverbial boxes are checked, you're comfortable with the sponsorship team to bring your network's equity in the whole deal. That's all bulletproof right now. It really comes down to how far do we go with equity raising if we know we're going to have a retrade conversation that could kill the deal, right? It's a chicken to the egg thing. And that's why I'm having the conversation with so many variables, which I don't like to do. We've got senior debt on board. It's leveraged pretty well, 79.5% non-recourse, 2 years plus 2 extensions. Properties at 83% expense ratio, sluggish reposition because because of the pandemic that they owned it through. So they didn't get as far in their reposition as they would normally in their model, which is usually to get heavily distressed assets and do a prove out of concept at 25%, do a bunch of the CapEx, prove out rents on 20% of the property, and then sell it. That's their seller's model. So anyway, I just wanted to gauge your interest on, would you come in either a pro rata kind of thing, or say I can raise on this deal, if the returns looked like this, I could raise 3 to 5 million, or now let me just go 3% per million and we'll go from there. And I just didn't know what your thoughts were, what just high level, low level, whatever you think.
So who all's on the team? You said Shane Carter.
Yeah, Shane Carter, Ian Derjovic, if I pronounced that incorrectly, but you know him, family office, his own family office. He's KP. Right. We have Exponential Equity, Hemel. I don't know if you know them, Hemel Badiani and Yomesh and Nick Brown. They have the KP elements of the loan taken care of and the earnest money. That's not the problem. The problem was their management of the process and their ability to raise the equity. They bit off more than they could chew. We found the deal. I had the personal relationship. I brought it to them because we knew them through Tim Bratz and other networks. They presented themselves as being bigger and ready to do bigger things than they were capable of doing. And they mismanaged the process. The pro formas were not done right. The CapEx plan was not done very accurately. And it's a big nut, $3.3 million CapEx budget on a 460 unit property. So, but we've fixed those problems in the past few weeks. We brought in Shane, Ian with him as the KP. We've kind of moved Exponential Equity. They're all clean, no baggage attached, just mismanagement of the process to get it across the finish line. So now we've got Shane's group that he likes to use, Asset Living, massive, very good company, 30,000 doors under management. And his construction group, which George Abreu, is bidding it out. So, and that's who they used on their other 700-800 doors in Houston. So the team now is where we should have been 45 days ago, 50 days ago. So the team is strong, plan is strong, good track record on the team. It's a matter of arranging the pieces, debt and equity, to hit the returns. And can we keep this? Can it support the same purchase price? Now, the good news is at this point, right? The good news would be an appraisal coming in light, because that would give us, hey, it's out of our hands kind of ammunition to go back to the seller. And for me, trying to develop a relationship to do business already with one of the sellers, optics if the deal were fit to fail, how it fails is very important to my future relationship with him. If we go back and say, look, there's nothing we can do, the appraisal came in here, 36, 37 million, we can, you know how this goes. Lenders next, they're going to retrade us. And then we got a retrade price. And if that's totally out of our hands, there's a chance that I could say, well, then if the deal goes away, if you guys don't want to play ball, we understand, but you understand that where we are too. So, it's kind of that impasse. Now we're not trying to kill the deal here, but I'm contingency thinking here, what that would look like, what that inevitable conversation is going to look like in the next week. Not your problem to step into that muck right this very second. I just wanted to get, if the deal went forward as it stands, I wanted to kind of gauge your interest as to coming on board in a kind of a passive way on the GP, active, but passive in that you don't need to be a lead, sponsoring, signing on any loans. It's more about equity raise from your network.
So I'm assuming everyone is going to be trying to raise capital, or
totally. Absolutely.
You've got a lot of horsepower on the team already, it seems.
Absolutely. It's a matter of whether or not we can get 10 million done through common retail equity.
Mm-hmm.
And if we have Charlie's group on board and people queued up, they can bring 1 to 2 million, and we get enough operators to where 460 doors moves the needle for a lot of operators. So having 3% per million available, 2 to 3% per million available. And then we as the GP will just take less if we have to, to keep it at that versus diluting it. That moves the needle for a lot of, Cody over at Blue Oak and maybe yourself and other friends of mine that, have got 100 or 200 doors and can go raise $1 million and $1.5 million. And 3% of this GP, while may not pay them a bunch, moves the needle from a business operations perspective.
So on your team, do you still have all the same people?
Yeah, myself,
Charlie and Kyle, and
Charlie's not on this one directly. He would be kind of a pitch like you, like, hey, come on board, get a slice of the GP. It is my core team, AOM and Oakstone. So Preston and Braden and myself and Felix have been working this up. We found the deal, we've been working it up, and then and so that's the core team along with Shane and Nick and them and Ian and Hemel and Yomesh. They've been backseated. Their 55% of the GP went to Shane when he came in, when we had to just be like, yep, sorry, you guys are reduced down to 10 and of the GP, and we're bringing in a new lead sponsor in hopes of getting this done.
Is George coming in strictly as the CapEx piece, or is he coming in as part of the GP team and raising capital?
TBD, but definitely the construction management element.
Okay. As I know George has my guess is his ability to raise capital is greater than mine.
Okay. Yeah. Yeah. And like I said, I haven't looked under everybody's skirts. I was just reaching out to the people I trust to just kind of gauge.
Yeah, I'll be honest with you, Branton, I'm not going to say no, but I would be hesitant to say yes at this point without knowing more, obviously.
Oh yeah. Of course. And there'd be a full deck in the whole deal, which is drafted up and ready. It's just a matter of we don't want to circulate that, not knowing if we have to go have a retrade conversation and the entire damn thing changes. You know what I mean?
Well, I would say a qualified interested.
Okay.
But reach back out to me when you know more, and let me think about. I'm not committed to doing just raise for anybody.
Of course.
I haven't been interested in doing that. But I would like to get something on the books with you. And so if this is, what it has to look like, then.
Yeah. And I'd almost rather it not be this one, not because I don't believe in the deal, but because I have deal fatigue at this point. I've been working on this nonstop since February when we started the LOI process. It's been hairy on their side, hairy on our side. They've had some silent partners come out of the woodwork and cause problems on the selling team as far as getting to a PSA. And it's been a headache across the board. I'm trying to save the deal. And then also then, that gets to a point where you're like, I don't know if it's savable. So now, can I save my relationship as I let this down easy so it's not a crash and burn situation? But yeah, okay, well, great. Well, I just wanted to kind of reach out to you, connect. We haven't spoken in a while. And just I'll kind of keep you updated on over the next week of where it goes.
Okay, sounds good.
And if you see anything that makes sense, or if we can all add value to, let me know.
Okay, sounds great. And I look forward to hearing from you again on it.
All right, Jim.
All right, Brandon.
Bye.
All right, bye.